This ornate stone gateway and Nandi statue define the boundaries of Arjun's daily world. Every morning, he arrived at a temple just like this to begin a cycle of prayer that the rest of his village found pointlessly repetitive. His devotion was defined by the focus seen in this ritual. Arjun's practice was a matter of quiet, absolute trust, one that expected no immediate material reward or social status. Outside of this sacred space, Arjun faced a different reality. He was the poorest man, facing constant mockery and total social isolation. The villagers operated on a logic of tangible gains. To them, survival required labor and accumulation. They viewed Arjun's hours at the temple as a naive waste of time in a world that offers nothing for free. Despite the pressure, Arjun's stance remained unchanged. He held to the conviction that, eventually, Mahadev would hear his call. This dynamic created a specific type of spiritual tension, a pressurized gap between his immense internal certainty and the extreme doubt of the world around him. This state was waiting for a catalyst to break the silence. That catalyst arrived with the storm. In a single night, the village's sense of physical safety was shattered by a force they could not control. The material toll was absolute. The winds destroyed the villagers' sturdy homes and leveled Arjan's own fragile shelter, leaving the entire community exposed. As the village collapsed, Arjan was pushed further into the dark forest, shifting from social isolation to a state of terrifying physical abandonment. Surrounded by the roar of the wind and the darkness of the trees, Arjan faced the sensory overload of imminent death. At this breaking point, his passive daily prayer transformed into a direct challenge. He cried out to the storm, "If you truly exist, protect me." The loss of his material safety served as the final trigger. It converted years of quiet worship into an active demand that the universe was now forced to answer. Seconds after his plea, a beam of unnatural light pierced the chaos of the storm. Manifesting as depicted in these massive monuments, Lord Shiva appeared, bearing the traditional iconography, the flowing Ganga, the serpent, and a gaze of absolute compassion. Shiva delivered a direct validation of Arjun's struggle. "Do not fear, I am always with those who keep faith." This schematic illustrates the event as a systematic reaction. The formula requires two specific inputs: unbreakable faith meeting an ultimate existential crisis. When those forces merged, the environment physically altered. The storm broke instantly, falling into an unnatural silence. A miracle is a measurable alteration of physical reality, triggered only when absolute faith reaches its critical mass. Arjun walked out of the destroyed forest the next morning without a single injury. He was the living evidence that his foundational belief was a tangible asset. Upon seeing his survival amid total devastation, the villagers' skepticism began to erode. They could no longer reconcile their cynical worldview with the evidence standing before them. The social dynamic of the village shifted over the following months. The mockery stopped, and the neighbors who once left began joining Arjun at the temple, integrating his practices into their own daily lives. In this new context, the mantra Om Namah Shivaya functioned as more than a tradition. It became a practical shield used to navigate the village's most difficult moments. The storm destroyed every physical structure the village relied on for safety. However, Arjun's unwavering devotion provided a foundation that could not be leveled, proving that faith is a tool for survival.